Cancer, welcome back. We're here to do your April, mid-April through early May love and life reading. See what's going on for you. And we are talking to Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Of course, cross watchers as well, if you'd like. And it's a 9-card spread using Osho Zen Tarot. Some really vivid imagery. And we'll take it from here. Let's get going into your reading. Most recent past for Cancer. I already was shuffling prior to coming on film. Projections. Conditioning. And laziness, which is typically the 9 of Cups, so it's really interesting that it's called laziness here. So for some of you, Cancer, let's see the energies in your most recent past as it relates to emotional life or relationships. So for some of you, there's definitely been, what I'm thinking is a buildup of definitely some intense emotions around whatever this relationship is, whatever this issue is that you're thinking about as you come to this reading. Projections are really, it's like 7 of Cups, but here the projections are really, where are you dealing on the ego? Where are you looking to somebody else and maybe fantasizing or placing blame? And if you see it really closely, you can take a regular person and create an evil figure out of them. And where are you projecting your issues onto somebody else, or did you project your issues onto somebody else, Cancer? And they certainly could have done that to you, or they could imagine positive out of you, and you might have done the same for them. So projecting what you hope someone would be, projecting something negative that doesn't really necessarily, need to be attributed to them. Maybe it's an old wound or an old relationship that's still getting projected onto somebody else, a mirror effect. So you might have had to deal with that in the recent past. Somebody was doing that with you, or you were doing that with someone. It can go either way, as you know, all of these readings. But as attached to that, it makes a lot of sense, because conditioning is attached to that, which is really the devil, card in the regular deck. But conditioning as it relates to old patterns, ways of operating, ways of thinking, behaving that may not be serving us, could be toxic, of course, could be unproductive, could come from childhood patterns, which create this kind of a projection, this kind of mirroring. So very tied to each other, being the 2 cards together like this coming out of the gate, Cancer. I'd say it's very high likelihood that that's been the scenario for some of you, that there's been some old crap, for lack of a better way to describe it. I'm just kind of saying it like I see it. Some old crap either coming at you from somebody else, or you to somebody else, where there's a hook there. And truthfully, it could be reciprocal, it could be mutual, that the 2 of you have been putting other expectations or projections on each other that just may not even come from what you have been dealing with directly. It could come from another place. And that can also be part of the laziness. That can be part of the why isn't one or both of you working harder to see what's real here, instead of like falling back into a convenient pattern? Is somebody, one or both of you, not putting effort in to this relationship because you feel one of you feels entitled, or one of you feels that it's already kind of fine the way it is, or that they're self-serving? But where is that showing up? So, that's kind of the initial energies, and it's definitely with conditioning in the middle, not productive. This had that unproductive and draining energy in the recent past for you, Cancer. So I don't think you're happy about it. I think about the I don't think you're happy about it. I think it's been a source of strain and unhappiness for you, if I look at what the middle card is really telling me. So what's coming into the future? How do we tie more energies into this reading for you? What's kind of more in the present for you? Very good. This is coming up a lot right now. Consciousness. It's like the Ace of Swords. So some clarity, definitely some clarity, good news. clarity for many of you in the midst of all this emotional upheaval, ego, conditioning. Heart of the reading in the present is the friendliness card, which is really the Two of Cups card. So there's definitely a consciousness and awareness of a very important relationship. I mean, I'm going to seal the deal that this was definitely or is definitely an important relationship, or you're coming to some huge realizations right now, Cancer, about what you need for your most important relationships. And this is traditionally the Strength card, but having a breakthrough around that, an emotional and mental breakthrough around that. Arms up, victory, yeah. Seeing clearly, bursting forth with energy around this. Not status quo, but new energy around this, new awareness about what's important to you in a really healthy partnership. So I don't know if you were trying to change someone. I don't know if you were trying to like kind of hold that ideal with the person you were already dealing with to the point where maybe it felt like you were trying to change someone a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if you thought so. I think that's what kept you stuck. If you thought so, I think that's what kept you stuck. So let's see. How about going into your future for Cancer? Okay. King of Wands, creator. Moment to moment. Balancing it all. Got a lot on your plate, a lot on your mind in life, and probably as it relates to this, but there's two twos here. Obviously, relationships are very big on your mind. Do you think there's just this is a hard to get over energy? A bit of loss, disappointment. Look at all the colors in the future and what's the potential here. It's like the Five of Cups, where there's the two cups still there and around you, and look at all the amazing, starburst, shiny cup, gleaming cup behind this person who can't get this box off their head. So basically, it's like a Picasso image of somebody who just can't get out of their own way because they're holding on to the past a bit. And yet, at the same time, they do have to recognize that somebody could be wearing a false mask. What is the reality in this situation, Cancer? What is the reality where somebody kind of stole pieces of you, or maybe acted without kindness, but more in treachery around you, or is pretending to be something, is withholding or pretending to be something that they're really not? And did you have an illusion about that before? Did you have an illusion about that before that kept you kind of locked in that scenario, but you're coming awake about that, and now you're wanting to step out of the chains and create? Bursting forth on the scene. This is like the Emperor card, but it's very specific to breaking free, which is a wonderful thing. So what I'm seeing as that's advice to me is to recognize where there's falsehoods and to take matters back into your own hands very powerfully, which is really just awesome, because in the future you have this accompanying that energy, which is driving with the Emperor, and then this, which is the King of Wands. So you have a King of Wands energy, but it's getting you back to, as you think about the relationships, it's getting you back to what do you deserve, what's real. Yes, you have a lot going on, and you have to focus on the day-to-day and the tangible when it comes to juggling and balancing the emotions. As we know, in the Two of Discs, the figure's always kind of on water, which is very movable, challenging, and emotional, even though it's a day-to-day disc card. But in order to gain that equilibrium and that harmony, the message being that you're going to be doing your best to take that all in, juggle, and take it moment to moment. Use your creative energy and your more recent found power to stay true to what you know is needed in your best partnership scenario. Be compassionate with yourself as part of this as well. And really do feel, you know, you want to put some attention to how to let go of the past, or at least look at it realistically and recognize it for what good was there or what lessons it did give you, and yet try to create a future that has more of this positive energy. I mean, really, the consciousness card. I mean, look at the messaging here. I mean, this is the same image, right? Between the King of Wands and the Buddha is just enlightenment and awareness and consciousness of the greatest magnitude. So amazing, powerful reading for you, Cancer. You have the ability to turn whatever conditioning or bad habits or projection or ego-driven things in your past that had to do with this situation. You have the ability to really harness some energy to turn this around, create for yourself, create what's going to work for you, not against you. You have the incredible breakthrough card, strength, to really deal with this in a positive way and leave the illusion of what somebody's showing you behind and focus on your abundance and your freedom, creating. Emperor, boundaries. Okay, so with that, I'm going to leave you here for this reading. Thanks for being here. Hope you'll like and subscribe and share. I would love to know if any of this resonates for you. And I would say this takes you from, mid-April to early May. So whenever you're watching it is the exact right time. And subscribe if you aren't a subscriber. I just really appreciate you being in the community. And I will see you again soon. Thanks.